I understand that this is a lot to some people. It's a lot of information. Um, it's the reason why I say study to show yourself approved, because for me, this is a culmination of many years of seriously taking of taking seriously the study of this Bible. I did take some time away because it seemed to me the more I studied, the more isolated I got. It's pretty bad now that for me mentally that I don't really connect with a tremendous amount of people that I honestly respect and um, and admired when I was coming up. My thinking was the more that I learned about the Word of God, the more that I expressed myself, that the more you can kind of have these wonderful conversations with people who are tacticians, uh, who have a desire to learn the Word, so that we can kind of sharpen each other, so that I can learn from them, they can learn from me, we learn from each other. You know, we argue, we debate. But what I found is that people get offended. And that became sad to me. That so many people, they get offended and then they push you away. They don't want to have those conversations for whatever reason. You know, I go from having conversations with people where they're taking notes when I talk to, and these are spiritual leaders and business leaders and whatever, to, you know, maybe wanting to tap into me every once in a while, but sharing life isn't necessarily what they want to do. This is counterculture, what God is saying for us to do. And I don't believe a lot of people understand how counterculture that is. I'm not offended by them. It's just they seem to me to either not understand or not care about the relational aspect of, as one of my brothers put it, Jetnas getting, Jetnas just getting together, or rabbis getting together, as they say in the Jewish community, or in the English community they call it friends getting together, or the American community, just friends getting together, having those conversations. The conversation seems to be more about stuff. Um, which I honestly don't find attractive, because I'm not sure what I'm learning about from that. We need stuff. I need stuff. I work a lot so that I can get stable on my own, because I don't have people to get stable with. In community, we all need each other. You can't be stable on your own. Well, you can, but it takes a whole heck of a lot of work to do so. But and well, your label. Let me put it like this: your level of stability is based upon your level of partnerships. These are multiplication principles. We're in Genesis 1, we're tapping into, this is the reason why I said Genesis 1 to me is the most powerful book. Now I know Genesis 1 is just a chapter, but there weren't chapters back then. I think Genesis 1 by itself, alone, is the most powerful section of these 66 books. Because in my opinion, now study to show yourself approved, in my opinion, it covers every aspect of life if you can decipher, discern, figure out the cultural differences of that time and equate it to today. You know, the conversation about the first day. The first day is when we're talking about in the beginning, we're talking about your spiritual awareness. In the beginning, God. In the beginning. This process doesn't change because you are a small g God. Now that might blow some of your minds, but you're cut from his cloth. So you create like he creates. In the beginning, God. In the beginning, there's this spiritual conversation that you're having with the God nature. This is how things are created. I'm going to keep saying this, at least for right now, so that you understand that this is your process and it is your only process. This is your biology. This is your reality. There is a beginning to every manifested thing in your life. Nothing is by accident. In the beginning, God created. In the beginning, God create. In the beginning, you create. And it starts with your heaven, your belief system, the kingdom of heaven as you understand it in your mind. It becomes more mature over a period of time. But this is the beginning of the multiplication process. You cannot multiply on purpose what you do not understand and do not have the wisdom for. In the beginning, God created heaven first and the earth. The earth is what you're made of. The human part of you is made of earth. And then we went over to the waters, and we want to talk about the waters a little bit because when God speaks, he doesn't speak to the earth where the seed is planted. He speaks to the water, which creates the environment for the seed to grow. Not just in earth, although earth is earth is in everything. Because if you think about it, even the seas are above earth. Genesis chapter 1, verse 20 says, "And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven." A beautiful, beautiful, poetic picture. How can the waters bring forth something that flies? It says it here. Moving creature that hath life and fowl may fly above the earth. That's the power of water. Everything needs water. In water, there is nutritional value that you may or may not be able to see or taste or smell. But the nutritional value of water, when it hits a seed, an idea, the traditional value of water, the Spirit of God. We learned this in Bible school. Water represents the Spirit of God. There's actually different iterations of water. There's mist, there's ice, there's free-flowing water. Operates in all the heavenlies. The power and the beauty of the construct of water. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving. He didn't say the earth. He said the water. So let me go back so that you understand. We're talking about the kingdom principle of multiplication. We're here. This is it. This is what everyone wants to know. This is what we base all these motivational books on, these business books on how to multiply. This is it. Bring forth abundantly means to multiply. So the multiplication process comes after the laying down of the foundation of in the beginning. Because everything is birthed with a seed in it. It takes a seed to birth a seed. Now, with that said, we're going to keep reading, but I want you to hear. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature. That's everything. That's the worm. That's the bull. That's the eagle. And that's the human. Verse 21. And God created great whales and every living creature that moved, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that good. I get rid of italicized words in my old school Hebrew and Greek Bible, just so you guys can see my Bible. Every page doesn't look like that, but I've spent a particular. I've spent more time in Genesis than I've spent in any book here. Anyway, so he brought forth these living. He said it was good in verse 22, and God blessed them. And even though he said bring forth abundantly, he made it abundantly clear. I'm not sure why at this point in verse 22, following that, and he blessed them, saying, again, now I want you, see, it's not just saying. I want you to catch this, because it goes back to in the beginning. In my thinking, maybe not in yours, but in my thinking, when God created, he spoke it first. And then when it manifests, he blesses it. This is true for us as well. You know, we have children We speak them first. I spoke my daughter into existence. She literally looks the way I prayed for her. Literally. When I was a kid, then I blessed her. Once I learned what that meant. And how you bless something or someone is you keep it going with the power of your words. You appreciate it. It's the only way. When things go wrong, you keep it going with the power of your words. You bless it. We're talking about the multiplication process. Whether it's your child, your employee, your constituents in politics, your co-workers, your church members, those you think less of, think they need to be learning from you, and they're not all that smart. Getting rid of all the malice. You can't bless something and at the same time look down on it, or him, or her. A blessing is not, I bless you, brother. A blessing is an action taken verbally and physically by helping it to multiply. This is it. This is the key that everyone is pursuing. Verse 22. Or let's go back to 21. I almost want to go back to chapter 1, verse 1. Because this is the process. You're in the middle of the process. But we've finished with the elements, what I'm calling the elements of your spiritual thinking, to your mental ascension, to believing for something or someone, and we're moving into the manifested reality of it, and you're taking care of the manifested reality of whatever it is that you say you want, or whoever it is. One of my biggest problems when I was young is I could manifest things and I would destroy them because I had no training. This is the beauty of the ancestors and the elders when you're tied into them. It keeps you from self-destructing so that you can enjoy your multiplication process. Verse 20. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly. Okay, so if you're getting lost in all my explanation, think of this. And God said, let the waters multiply the moving creatures. Now, if that's too much, again, we use waters for spirit. Let the spirit multiply moving creatures. That hath life, and the fowl may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. What's interesting to me is firmament is also kind of represents water. And I don't want to go too far because I can go a lot further because it's so much fun, but I want you to get the basics of truth down so that you don't make the mistakes that I and other people in previous generations have made and make this a selfish thing. Your multiplication is in your willingness to be a blessing. Oh my God. You may not get it the way you want to, but that's the reason why you have to surround yourself with people with the right heart. With the right spirit. This is for my kids, my grandkids, my brothers and sisters around the world. And whoever believes I'm a teacher. Verse 21. And God created great whales. You catch that? He went back to in the beginning. And even though he has spoken of the idea of multiplying, over here in verse 21, he multiplies. He laid the foundation for multiplication. He prepared the earth. I've gone too long. He prepared the earth. He prepared the water. He prepared the night, and he prepared the day. I really want to go so much further with you, but I really got to keep these down to 20 minutes. Bless you. Yeah. And God be with you. And thank you for taking this journey with me. And if you'd like to support the ministry, there's the Zelle, paulcdozier@gmail.com, and CashApp $TheMrPaulDozier. Thank you so much.